Welcome back to episode 14. In today's show, we talk about microneedling, which is why my face actually looks like this, and a quick but useful parenting tip we've learnt on Instagram this week.
And we share our love for the Future Dreams charity and their amazing fashion show. And we touch on imposter syndrome, which we definitely feel a lot. We also share 5 tips for smart packing.
I'm going to start this episode by firstly addressing my face.
She has not been punched by Craig.
I have not been punched by Craig. I've had micro needling. So I have suffered, as you can vouch, with acne and bad skin throughout the years, especially during my IVF journey. It was something that was really bothering me and something that I've been doing a lot of research in, and microneedling was the one thing that came up to resurface your skin, rebuild the collagen and give you new skin. But the issue is you look like this.
Yeah, the downtime is intense.
It's never the right time. On Bank Holiday Monday, I went to Sadaf, our new incredible woman that's helping us with treatments and just really learning about what there is on offer to kind of help us with our skin. And I had microneedling, not 1% painful.
I was just about to say, because when you see all the pictures of all the blood on their face,
because they dig deep with needles, severe. And I know I've never looked worse, and I'm totally okay with
honestly,
that.
I actually think you look, considering what some people look like after, I would say yours is really...
I look like a bloody corpse.
Not at all. Just that tiny little...
Yeah, I look like I've been punched in the eye, and it's very dry and flaky, but the end result is really going to help with my scarring, and I'm really excited.
So this time next week, guys, she is going to look like a new baby.
Look a glowy goddess. Also going to add, I'm in a stinking mood because...
I mean, guys, just like... it will get better. It will get more positive.
I'm just going to offload. I need to offload.
She needs to offload.
I'm in a stinking mood.
Go for it.
Because I didn't set Lenny's frigging alarm, whatever gross, stupid clock, that if someone presses a rogue button like ED, it doesn't work properly. And at 4:35 or 4:37, he shouted at the top of his lungs, "Mummy! Mummy!" And I went in and he said, "My clock's off." I'm like, "Go to sleep. It's 4:37.
Did he go back?
He went back to sleep, but Edie woke up. So he went back to sleep on and off, kept going in, wanting the iPad at 5:01. I'm like, absolutely not. And Edie was up from 4:37.
Well, you know what they say. The only way is up, baby.
Please share some good news with me.
Well, actually, no.
Because I've offloaded now.
I just also want to say I'm also not in a foul mood, but feeling the guilt again. I dropped Alfie off to football camp today. They were outside the whole day. I thought it was summer.
It's not.
It is not. There is a
freezing.
very cold breeze today, and he is in a t-shirt. So I arrived at the podcast studio just full of that guilt of what I do.
I did look at the weather this morning, and it did say the sun was popping out. Okay, so let's hope that Alfie can make it to 2 o'clock without freezing.
He's always cold, my poor little prince. Aww. But before we do move on to all of our thrilling content today, we are going to uplift you. We always do. Just a little shout out to my amazing darling niece, Ruby. She is 7 and she listens to our podcast.
When you told me that, it was literally the sweetest thing. And I've got to add, because Phils will never say this, you said you were out for dinner in a restaurant the other night, and she was like, "This is my Auntie Phils. She's famous. She's got a podcast."
No, it was just the way she said it. She has so much sass. She's 7. Ruby, I know you'll be listening. I love you. But she is amazing. I was ordering the food for everyone, and she said to the waitress, "Don't you know my auntie? She's famous."
Talking of sweet things about kids, I actually saw this morning when I was scrolling at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I really liked it and thought it would be a nice thing to share just quickly on the topic of kids. One simple thing that my parents did that boosted my confidence. My parents would talk to my stuffed animals about me. "Wow, did you see her? She got dressed fast. She looks so confident in that outfit. Oh, Bunny, you're so silly. You think you love her the most. I love her even more." As a child, I would sit there and smile as I overheard my parents say nice things about me. By overhearing them share good things about me, I started to believe these things were true.
I love that.
I thought that was really lovely, and I'd never think to do that.
And kids are just, you know what, when you teach them, if you do it so subtly, it makes such a huge impact. And I think that that's just such a clever technique and tool to use. And it's just so easy. I actually do recall something similar with Alfie's, when he first started reception, there was a phase where it wasn't that he found it tricky settling in, but he started in a school where they had a nursery group that then all went up to reception. So he was one of, I think, 3 kids. So naturally, all the kids had their own group and clique a little bit. And I remember the first few weeks, it was a little bit, it wasn't difficult at all, but there was an adjustment stage. And I do remember sometimes he would come home and like feel whatever he was feeling. And I remember I must have read something similar, or someone told me about getting his superheroes and talking to them and sharing those positive messages and interaction in a positive way, how much of an impact it has. So I love that. Thank you for reminding me.
But did our parents do it to us? That's the question.
Mum, also, I know you're listening.
No.
I'm sorry, but I don't think you did.
But actually,
she taught
us a lot.
They definitely did.
But different times.
And also, I guess now, things are just done in a different way.
But also, I would never have seen that had I not been on Instagram.
Correct.
So I'm getting, all the tidbits I like to pick up from my podcast, from here, from there. But actually, there wasn't that outlet then. So
everything is just so at our fingertips now.
Absolutely.
We're so much more aware of it. So last week we had probably, I would say, one of the most meaningful, impactful days of our careers so far. Would you agree?
It was just there's no words for that day.
We shared a ton of it on Instagram, but just in case you guys don't follow us on Instagram, we wanted...
Or you missed it.
Exactly. We wanted to share it with you today. So Future Dreams, for those of you that don't know, is a charity that was set up to help those that have been touched with breast cancer, a diagnosis of breast cancer. And every year they do a fashion show, and we're going to kind of go into that, but just wanted to just talk a little bit about Future Dreams, why it's so amazing, why it means so much to us, and kind of how we started a working relationship with them. So the charity was actually set up tragically because a mother and daughter were both diagnosed with breast cancer, and they tragically passed away within a year of each other. And whilst they, in their diagnosis, they set up this charity so that...
With £100,
with £100, they said.
Amazing to hear how far they've come from starting with £100.
Yeah. And they set it up so that no one would feel alone going through a breast cancer diagnosis. All the feelings that they felt, the lack of perhaps support, community.
Feeling alone.
Exactly. So they set up Future Dreams whilst, of course, they were still alive. Tragically, they then passed away. And since then, it's now become the most established, incredible, huge, amazing. I mean, there's not enough words for us to use to describe.
I'm sure so many of you have seen it on Instagram, so many amazing celebrity ambassadors, and they also recently set up Future Dreams House, didn't they?
Yes, which I think was last year. I think it's in King's Cross. We are going to go very soon and do a little tour, but the house is so unbelievable. It's pink in King's Cross, and it's like a safe haven for anyone going through and beyond breast cancer. And they hold workshops, they have
bra fittings,
they have tea and chat events, they have wig and hair specialists come in.
I think as well, having a hub for, like you said, hair specialists, stylists, someone to help you with makeup. You go through a diagnosis, then there's possible treatments, then there's side effects of treatments, and there's so much that goes into not just the diagnosis, but everything else. And being able to have that support along the journey, and have people to be there for you, to guide you, being amongst other women and men that are experiencing similar things, is the most impactful and incredible space. And what they do, like you said, is utterly, utterly incredible.
Yeah. We started our working relationship with them, was it about 5+ years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe some of you OG followers would remember, but we designed a ring with Lola Rose and Future Dreams, our diamond round ring, which is so symbolic to us. And when Future Dreams asked us, gosh, it was probably about 5-6 years ago.
So I was pregnant with Lenny, so about 5.5 years ago.
How we could collaborate, share a message. And of course, since then we've been hit by lockdowns, COVID and everything, pandemics. Charities need help more than ever. So this was before that. And we were just so, to be able to collaborate with a charity like Future Dreams was everything to us. There's never enough hours, but we will always make time to help and spread messaging to a charity like Future Dreams. So we designed our own diamond ring, and the reason behind it was because it gave that symbol of eternity.
Circle of life.
That circle of life. And we had the ring sold out. I think they reordered it, then it sold out again. And we had stories of, sisters buying it for their mums, like the whole family having them.
I've gone.
It was.
By the way, when I said I've gone, I mean I'm welling up.
Yeah, because lots of you can't see this.
Lots of you can't see this, and hopefully you're not seeing my face. Just being able to give back in a tiny, tiny way. And like Phil said, hearing those messages from people, I bought this for my mum. Oh my God, when she finished her chemo, and just, it was just amazing to be able to use our audience in a really positive way. And it's something that we'll always continue to do. Yeah. So fast forward to Future Dreams
last week
charity fashion show, which was the most unbelievable, empowering, mega evening. And they asked us for What the Brand to be a part of the show, and they shared some other amazing brands that were also part of it, like Reese, Melissa Oderbash,
Victoria's
Secrets, just some really incredible brands. And obviously we were like 100% yes. And the most amazing thing about it was that the models that will be walking the catwalk are ladies and men that are either going through or have been through a cancer diagnosis. And when we saw those women,
honestly, it
was
the best
catwalk
day of my life.
The Brand, we were ugly crying like there was no tomorrow. Nikki, Philippa and I, we were standing, we were cheering. We have never ever felt so proud to be amongst the most incredibly inspiring women, and to see them wear our clothes and to work it and to look so good. It was I don't think we realised the kind of enormity of it prior to that.
I think that's also something that is really nice about us, and I mean that in a really humble way. Just, when we didn't realize the huge kind of impact that evening was, and I actually think I like that about us. I like that we had our feet on the ground. Obviously next year we are absolutely going to be involved again, and
we always will be now.
But the three of us just went along, we bought our tickets, and we had no expectation of what the evening was going to be like.
We'd never been before, so we didn't know what it was like.
Right. But seeing our brand on that catwalk with these amazing women and men, as you said, that are part of Future Dreams because of their cancer diagnosis, seeing them wear the brand, that was huge. For me, that tops anything that we've done for the brand.
And all three of us said this is one of the best. This is the best night of our life.
Yeah.
Just to make that, again, that tiny bit of difference, and just obviously we're a clothing brand, and obviously we're selling clothes, but to be able to use what we've created in some small way to give back, I think is really at the heart of us, and it's something that is really important to us, and we want to continue just to keep doing however we can.
Well, the reason why we set up the brand was to be able to design a range, a collection, a wardrobe for women that potentially have just had a baby, they're going back to work, are going on holiday, don't know how to dress, but to
give them confidence
in a way like the Future Dreams event that tops it for everything. And it really was so symbolic for everything that we believe in, that empowering, the confidence, all of our key messaging words, seeing it right there on the catwalk, and these women looking absolutely amazing in our collection.
But it's funny because you were obviously saying, we never imagined the enormity of it. It's almost like that whole imposter syndrome that we often talk about. You can't really believe you're part of something like that. We often say, when we started the podcast, is anyone going to want to listen? Do we have anything to say? And I actually listened to Edward Enninful, the Vogue editor, on Diary of a CEO this week, and he is one of the most successful editors, fashion editors of all time. He's been doing this, his career journey was amazing. He at 18 he was the editor or fashion editor of ID magazine at 18 years old, and he daily says to himself, should I be here? Do I deserve this? I'm really terrible at this. How mad of someone of that caliber to feel like that. And then he says, it doesn't go away. I'm 50 now, but I know where to put it. I've had a long enough career to where I think I've done something right. And it just makes you think, everyone feels those feelings. It's rare to have that pure confidence in something. And to kind of hear it from someone like him, I just found it very admirable that he was sharing that.
I think there's just so much noise around and you can hear it in your head, and it's having those tools to be able to, as he said, kind of park it, deal with it. I wouldn't say from our point of view it's that feeling of like we don't deserve it. I wouldn't say we come from that point. It's more just, you know, in a humble way, it's like we can't believe the steps that we're taking. And that I think is a really positive thing because it keeps you grounded and it doesn't make us, I don't know. I actually hope that we are always like that.
100%. And I think it was just, you know, you often, especially when you put yourself out there and you do slightly different things, you get those self-doubt feelings, you know, a bit like we were saying last week, but you've got to talk to them, you've got to address them, and you've got to let them go. Yeah. And it's so normal to have those feelings, but it's what you do with them. And it's just something that we're continuing to kind of learn and to put them aside, like he said. And I just really loved hearing it from him. And I really recommend that episode. It's a really good one.
I think I'm going to have to listen to it, maybe on the way to our next appointment.
Absolutely.
Do you mind listening to it again?
No. You had a lovely voice.
It's so nice to hear things that are just empowering and uplifting.
I think when you listen to things for the second time, you hear different things as well.
Well, talking about empowering and uplifting, Sarah and I both watched the most incredible film over the bank holiday, Air. I'm sure lots of you have watched it, probably went to the cinema to see it about a year ago.
Yeah.
But
we watched it on Sky over the weekend.
And we loved every single minute of it.
Really
I actually had to spread it over 3 nights.
Did you? How can you do such a thing?
The minute I get into bed and watch something, I'm gone. I'm fast asleep. And I didn't want to miss out. So we kind of watched it in sections over the 3 nights.
No, we got stuck in.
I just, at the moment, love watching documentaries. I love kind of going on Netflix and just going through all the different documentaries.
I do. I was thinking about that when we went to watch a film on Saturday night. How do you find these documentaries?
On Netflix.
I know, but a lot of them are just like not my. Like,
yeah, you have to sift through
quite
the good.
A lot. I feel like I need
like
all the recommendations in one place.
But Air is based on obviously the true events and the background behind the Air Jordans. And I just, you know, something that you watch and you love every single second. You don't want the film to end. Yeah. Obviously, don't want to give too much away in case some of you haven't watched it and are going to watch it. But we cannot recommend it enough for just pure uplifting, pure
it's a
escapism.
Great story. It's a really, really good story. And I love the message that you can get really big. You can get all the funding. You can take things to the next level. But you need to stay true to who you are. Yeah. And to me, that was the actually overriding message that I got from the film. And I really loved it. And I almost needed to hear it. And I just thought the acting was amazing, loved the story, and it was just so feel good.
And also just really believing in yourself. But also another kind of flip to it. I loved Michael Jordan's mum and her take on it and her absolute belief in knowing her son's worth. And I think that also was a key message to me because so many times it's difficult to know your own worth. And obviously in this case, it was monetary. But just he had his mum to really believe in him and know that he wasn't going to accept anything unless it was to his standard.
So we highly recommend Air.
Hope we haven't given too much away.
No, I don't think we have. If you need a good feel-good, just an easy watch, but a great watch, we highly recommend it. Moving on. We have both learned a couple of extremely random things this week that we thought it would be quite interesting to share. Shall I start?
Go for it.
So, darling Craig, I do love him, but he snores like a psychopath. And most nights, I want to put a pillow over his head. And I was talking to my lovely friend Nesh. You remember Nesh from ITV, one of the models. And she is doing like a naturopath, holistic health course, Fresh Nesh. And she has learned so many amazing things, which she was sharing with me. One of which was about mouth taping for snoring.
When Sarah first told this to me, I thought she meant literally like put sellotape over his mouth.
No, it's basically that.
But like as in not just...
It's not actual sellotape. I haven't done it yet.
Because that would be really painful to come off.
Because basically if you snore, you're breathing through your mouth. And actually it's not the healthiest way to breathe. You're meant to breathe through your nose. So I can pull the duvet, pull the pillow, darling, move up. But ultimately he's still snoring all night long. So mouth taping will close the mouth, which obviously, because you need to breathe somewhere, encourages breathing from the nose, which will hopefully stop the snoring
and not kill him.
I definitely don't want to kill him because he's a husband and he's very useful.
But Alex actually also does suffer from this. It's
No
not
way
as bad
as much.
not as bad as Craig,
I won't have
although
it.
his dad definitely is.
Yeah.
He's not as bad
How do you know?
yet. What about his dad? My mother-in-law has told me many a time also how much she wants to put a pillow over his face. But the issue is, and I think this is what you need to be careful is, Alex can't really breathe through his nose because he, like, from a baby has like, and I think this is why snorers are snorers, closed nose ducts or something. I don't know what it is.
You've
but
definitely made
they
that
just
up.
don't have the airways like we have them. They're not as clear. They're not as big.
So you saying that I could potentially
think
kill
you-
Craig if I take his
So
mouth
I think we need
together?
to do a little bit more research.
Well, no, I'm going to look into it because I think there's probably I don't think you go straight to full mouth taping. You maybe do it like half.
Does he know about this?
He told me to off. So he said, you tape your mouth then. I said, fine. It's actually meant
Give
to
it
be
a
very
go.
good for you. So we're both going,
Also, what about spiders? Did you ever hear that rumor? You swallow like 10 spiders throughout the night, so maybe that
and
would
we
stop
still
that.
live to tell the tale.
So I found out something very, very
You're
useful.
going to do a show and tell?
Well, I'm going to try, although if I stand up, I'm worried you guys won't hear me, but maybe that's a good thing. I had a massage from lovely Diana. I'm going to link her Instagram page on the show notes.
She's heaven.
She is a holistic therapist. She specializes in clinical massage. And I actually haven't seen her, I would say probably about 8 to 12 months.
Too long.
Way, way, way too long. But Alex very kindly got me a voucher for Mother's Day to have 2 Diana massages, and she comes to your home and she is just the warmest, friendliest, kindest giving
Soul.
person. And I had this amazing massage, and then at the end I was like, oh my gosh, Diana, my posture. I mean, it's something that I've always struggled with. I think perhaps subconsciously, but maybe not quite consciously, always round my shoulders to cover my breast area, something that I have always, you know, everyone's got their thing.
Yeah.
So that has led to me not having the best posture, but it's something that I'm working on. Actually, I was meant to bring in my shoulder brace tomorrow.
5 ways to style a shoulder brace coming right up.
Diana told me how to stand.
Right.
Shall I try?
By the way, as I'm talking to you, I realise I'm so hunched over. I'm like hanging over my trousers with my like.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able
deathly
to do
face.
it standing up. But basically, anyone listening, let's do this all together. So when you stand up, you have to have the 4... Diana, if you are listening, you're going to laugh because this is exactly how she described it to me. You have to have the 4 corners of your feet planted, really rooted down into...
Grounded.
The ground, exactly. So you feel fully grounded, like those 4 corners, and be really mindful of that, because I definitely feel like the reason why my posture is bad, my feet kind of go to the sides.
Yeah.
So ground those corners, those 4 corners.
Right.
You then...
Tip 1.
That's tip 1. You then kind of do something to your thighs. I can't remember what she said. You maybe...
Tense them.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Try and do something with your thighs.
Yeah.
Get them going.
Yeah.
And then usually what I find, I have my spine kind of curves. So tilt your bum more forward so that you don't have that curve. Your core.
And
It's
also
all about your core, by the way.
What you have
your
a
pelvis.
your pelvic floor.
That one
we should
too.
I'm doing it right now.
Me too.
Yeah.
Don't you find that so weird when you mention it and then all of a sudden you realise everyone's just
Yeah,
doing
and
your
also you
pelvic
realise
floor.
you should
You
really
haven't
do
done
it, and
it.
you haven't done it
Yeah.
since you were pregnant.
roll your shoulders back,
Yeah.
and then imagine that your head is being pulled up to the ceiling. And she told me if you
Will
do...
I get taller doing this?
Yes.
Okay.
And you will feel more open to the world.
Universe. Okay.
And she said, because at first I felt really unnatural doing it, as I'm sure lots of you that have just literally done that with us you feel really stiff. But she said if you practice that really mindfully every day for about
Is this
a
going
month,
in the non-negotiable morning routine?
absolutely, then it will naturally just become a habit, and your body will naturally fall into that beautiful posture.
Okay.
So that's what I learned. And actually, I don't think it's actually that random at all. I think it is
No.
vital.
Vital.
How
but
have I
we've-
lived
we
so
have
long not
lived
knowing how to stand?
many years not knowing this information. So I'm pleased that we're going to be standing more straight. I'm going to become taller. You're going to be less hunched, and we'll report back. So this week we wrote a little article for OK Magazine about smart packing. And it's a question that we get asked loads about what we're packing on our summer holiday, about hand luggage, about lots of different things. So we thought it would be quite interesting to share our tried and tested packing tips. We actually haven't really conferred on this, so I wonder if we've got
there'll be
the
any
same
crossovers.
tips, but some things we really live by that we really do and make makes packing for holidays, long or short, very easy.
I do also think because of being interns, going on fashion shoots, always packing suitcases, it's definitely something that does come naturally to us.
Yeah.
Even packing up my house this week, we're moving tomorrow, woohoo! My mum said it just comes naturally to you to pack because you've learned it from such a young age, always packing and unpacking suitcases. And I think that's so true. So we've got to share our knowledge with you guys.
I am going to start with one question for you. Are you a roller or are you a folder?
I'm a roller for dresses.
I'm a roller for dresses, and then I'm a packing cube addict for everything
can't
else.
Bear the cubes. I thought I would really like them.
You can put so
They're
much in
too
them.
small.
No, you don't. No. You buy many sizes on Amazon.
I
Small
got the
to
wrong
large.
sizes. I need to try again.
You can borrow mine because then you can. You use the space more efficiently because it's all. It's like a Jenga jigsaw.
But then all your knickers, your socks, your bras and things. Don't you?
I don't wear knickers.
Don't you shove those into shoes and beach bags and?
Well, potentially, but I mean, especially with the kids stuff, it's very, very good with the kids stuff and like swimming costumes. Just they're like kind of like condensed and like cubey.
Okay, so I'm going to try the cubes again. Okay. I'm going to get bigger ones.
Yeah.
Right, you go ahead. Your tips.
Okay, so my absolutely first numero uno tip is I will, and I'm dedicated to this, will try on every single outfit before I go on holiday. It does seem like an arduous task, don't get me wrong, but if I try it on and I don't like it, it ain't coming with me. I take a photo, I've got it on my phone, I've got my day outfits, I've got my night outfits, I've got my mix and match.
You do it for your day outfit.
As in, I'll quickly just slip on a dress because if I've had it for a couple of years, maybe I won't like the style. Yeah. Because in the past, you throw everything in your summer wardrobe in your suitcase, and that's just mental behavior. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm trying everything on. I'm packing very lightly, only with a couple of extras, and then I've got my outfits. Plus, it saves time when you're there because you don't have to should I wear this, should I wear that? Because you've only got your outfits.
I actually learnt this from you a couple of years ago,
Best
and now I do the same. And actually, I now do it for the kids. So I will pack the t-shirt and the shorts.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture as an outfit.
I don't go that far.
Although now Alfie only wants to wear football and especially Arsenal kits when we're away, which does really hurt me. But for Ava, I plan her outfits. And then, so like in the evening when you're so rushed, you've come up from the pool, you've got literally 45 minutes. You don't have any stress.
But that's very good with a cube because for Edie, I'll have like one cube for like the grow bag, the muzzies, the pajamas, one cube for the evening, one cube for the daytime. So then you literally just put the cube into your wardrobe and then you know exactly where to go.
I like it.
You like it. What's your tip?
Oh, we're going to go one by one?
One for me, one for you.
A neutral flat.
Neutral or metallic?
Maybe both.
Whoa.
Gone are the days of taking heels on holiday.
Who takes heels on holiday?
It's quite naff actually.
Yeah.
But I used to take so many different types and no one's got space for that anymore. And also it's just too much faff. So now I might take one metallic, like a Zhuzhia pair, like a multi-strap, and then a neutral slide-on flat slide.
And do you coordinate a bag with this?
I don't, because I'm with the kids when we're away. I mean, if I was going on a bougie girls' holiday or with Alex,
wouldn't have a little bag for your outfit. See, I would take like one neutral and metallic bag.
I would like to, but just in terms of practicality, I've got my big bag with their colouring books, snacks. So I just never really. I usually take it and then never actually use it. You?
My next one is you don't need a swimsuit for every single day of your holiday. You don't. And I think that's okay because I used to think I need something different every single day. I wasn't of that mix and match mentality. First of all, it's ludicrous to even own like 14 swimming costumes or bikinis. So I have a few that I really like and I will rotate them and I've become accepting of that.
And you take travel wash?
And I take travel wash. Well, I rinse them every day, but I mean, I definitely take travel wash for the tomato sauce stains that go on every single piece of kids' clothing, day and night.
Because all our kids eat on holiday is tomato pasta,
and
pizza.
Chips with tomato sauce.
Yeah, literally. A linen set for me is up there. Obviously, what the brand linen sets are.
Which colour is your favourite right now?
Mocha, I would say, is so great because it's so dressy, but it also can look. I wore it in Easter when we were away over a swimsuit, and I love that vibe as well.
But also, you can just wear the shirt, just to go and run to get ice cream. Just wear the shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you take more than one of that, or would you just?
I would probably take 3. Like if I'm going away for maybe 10 days over the summer, I would make good use out of 3 linen sets. Absolutely.
Okay.
And Sarah Ellis is going to be wearing our linen sets this year. She tried it on.
I'm not a short lover personally, but
you're going to embrace.
I did wear it last year. I just don't love a short in the UK, but on holiday, I'm down with it. I got my samples yesterday and I'm very obsessed. Okay, my next one is don't take toiletries you never use here.
I'm so guilty of this.
I'm going to be glowy tonight. Yeah. I'm going to take 5 primers. No, I don't need to take 5 primers. I don't need to take after sun for the shower, after sun moisturizer, and after sun oil because I'm never going to use it. But you want to use all the things, don't you? Especially if you've got them.
And also, if you've got a nice moisturizer in your cabinet that you don't really use often, you think, oh, I'm definitely going to live my best life on holiday, and then you just never do.
But actually, you want to downsize your holiday toiletries. You don't need to take 5 concealers. You don't need to take, for me it's the makeup because I'm like, oh, I might want to wear eyeshadow one night. I'm not going to wear eyeshadow one night because I'm going to be like hair back, more chilled vibe. So that is something that I really try and work hard on.
Something that I found when we were away over Christmas was this Kerastase. I need to get you involved in this.
Why haven't you told me about this?
It's a hair protective, it's a UV hair protector. I'm going to get the name right. It's called UV Sublime Leave-In Moisturizing Hair Cream.
Where did you find such a thing?
Well, because I wear my hair up when we're away and I do tend to put hairspray in it, I was thinking to myself, surely the hairspray with the direct sun is really not good for my hair. It's just going to break it. I need some kind of hair cream that's going to protect it with UV filters. So I just did a little Google and this one came up with top ratings, so I ordered it.
And you put it in the morning?
I put it in the morning. I kind of like drench my hair with it and then brush it all through. And actually, you don't really need to then put hairspray on because the cream holds it.
And I will say on holiday, when one wears a bun, I do get that fuzz because of the heat. So actually using, because sometimes I wet my hair and put it in a bun because I can't bear the fuzz. So using a cream is another great tip.
There you go.
Do I have any more tips? Oh yes, my final tip is try for some kind of colour palette. You know, we're not going to take pink, green, orange, blue. Firstly, that's not really our vibe. I will say that we're quite into pale blue at the moment.
Like a blue tone.
So I would try and take like a bit of blue, a bit of white, a bit of neutral, because then it's kind of cohesive. So you can wear your white shorts, you know, with various other different tops, and it all kind of mixes and matches together. Because sometimes if you take just things that can't be mixed, you'll end up taking more.
Also, you know, it's that whole thing, that capsule wardrobe thing. It does help inspire and kind of keep you focused when you're getting dressed. So even when you're away, you open up your wardrobe and it all looks cohesive, as you said, it will just make you feel so much better.
And it makes getting dressed easier. Have you got one more for me?
Not really a tip, but something that everyone needs to take away with them. The Beauty Pie Awesome Bronze Moisturizer, but also the Nukes Golden Glow Spray.
Both.
Just live your best life when you're away on beautiful sun-kissed skin, which Sarah and I are now not going to be having anymore because we've decided we are too old to be sitting in the sun. I find that it's, do you know what? It's so hard because I do love a glow, but I'm going to try not to.
But the thing is, if you just walk and you're in the pool with your kids, you do get that glow.
Yes.
But I think gone are the days.
Gone are the days of like literally being like that.
Maybe if we go away with like 5 nannies and or even no children, that will be something that
we're looking after our skin now. And the Beauty Pie Awesome Bronze, the smell of it, the feel, the way it looks on your skin is just sensational.
And that comboed with the Nukes oil
together
is spectacular.
So today, guys, I'm going to end this episode by wishing my darling husband, he hates that word. He literally hates it. He's like, please never use that word ever again. You are not just good at putting out the rubbish, I promise. Anyway, it's it's our 8-year wedding anniversary today. 8 years.
Congratulations.
Happy anniversary.
You made it through the 7-year itch.
Yeah, we did.
On to number 8.
Just
hanging by a thread.
No, I love you and happy anniversary.
Happy Annie, guys. Many more.
PG.
Well, that's all for today. I think we covered a vast range of topics. we kind of went on about 5,000 tangents.
We still are speaking so fast, guys. I'm sorry. I have to say...
We get overexcited. The packing thing, I was like on crack.
Last week,
literally,
I was making dinner listening to the pod and I was out of breath listening to us. So I'm really sorry. We've got to try and take a few deep breaths.
The question is, do you listen to it on 1.5? Because if you do that, it feels like your head's going to spin around and
can't do that.
Come off.
It's something that we're working on. As Sarah said, we get very passionate. we get very excited.
Yeah.
And sometimes we talk really, really fast.
But thank you for listening. We loved episode number
14.
14. We made it. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, leave us a 5-star review, and we will see you next week.